Lisa Marie Presley, former singer, songwriter, philanthropist, mother, and daughter of the king of rock and roll, is probably the poster child for a life full of rises and falls. No matter what point of living among us she was in, Lisa Marie dealt her cards accordingly and rode her waves of highs and lows like that of a true princess. So, without further ado, we're getting into the rise and fall of Lisa Marie Presley. Welcome to Where Are They Now's newest series. It's your host Michaela, here to give you the full rundown. In honor of Lisa Marie's recent passing, drop one of your favorite things about her in the comments below and let's dive in. Lisa Marie knew fame from the moment she was born, and no, I don't mean just a casual brush with fame, I literally mean fully dipped into the limelight head first. As the daughter of legendary Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie lived her entire life in the spotlight, and her unfortunate lows and dramatic highs were all free game to sleuthing press, who just needed to document her every move. However, even despite the pressure on Lisa Marie's shoulders of being the only child of one of the most beloved and celebrated musicians in history, Lisa Marie managed to pave the way for her successful career as a singer-songwriter. Still, she didn't live an easy life, with everything from divorce and addiction tied into it all. However, before we get into all that, let's start with her rise to the top. As the daughter of a legend, Lisa Marie enjoyed a rather lavish childhood. At her dispense or pleasure, she had access to private amusement parks for herself and her peers, ponies, and tons of household employees who catered to her every need. In fact, when Elvis discovered that his daughter desired to see snow for the very first time, the king of R&R ordered his private jet to fly Lisa Marie to Idaho to prance in the snow for 20 minutes, then flew her back home. Born on February 1st, 1968, Lisa Marie was brought up in Memphis, Tennessee, only 9 months following her parents tying the knot. After the divorce 6 years down the road, Lisa Marie moved out with her mother in Los Angeles, but she would frequently make the necessary travels back to reunite with her dad at his Graceland mansion. On the topic of Graceland, Lisa Marie inherited the lavish estate on her 25th birthday in 1993, a home later turned museum which numerous reports estimate to be worth approximately 100 million US dollars. Following the death of her father, which we'll discuss in more detail later on, Lisa Marie became the sole heir of the Elvis Presley Trust. This and Elvis Presley Enterprises was managed by Lisa Marie alongside Graceland and other assets until the late star sold the majority of her interest back in 2005. However, Lisa Marie kept ownership of the mansion itself, all the items inside the home, and the 13 acres of grand land surrounding it. Elvis Presley Enterprises is a corporation founded by the Elvis Presley Trust that Lisa Marie once owned. Information on what happened to the mansion after Lisa Marie's death was revealed by an Elvis Presley Enterprises representative who informed the Associated Press that the home is locked in a trust which will later benefit her children. Along with Riley Keough, Lisa Marie has left behind her other daughters, Harper Vivian Ann Lockwood and Finley Aaron Love Lockwood. During her time with us, Lisa Marie explored the depths of a pressured life in the media through her music, releasing 3 albums between 2003 and 2012. Her first was titled To Whom It May Concern, with Now What following, and Storm and Grace tying out as her last full musical body release. August 2007 marked the 30th year of her father's death, and on that day, Lisa Marie put together a duet with the late legend by layering her vocals with his on his 1969 single In the Ghetto. During her brief but standout life, Lisa Marie got married 4 times, where she first tied the knot with musician Danny Keough, father of her daughter Riley and deceased son Benjamin. Her next marriage was her most prolific, as she wed another iconic late singer, Michael Jackson. Then came her next wedding to Hollywood star Nicolas Cage, and her final marriage with music producer and father of her twins, Michael Lockwood. For her time with Michael, again being her most famous, for reasons both applauded and scrutinized, she and MJ remained together and were heavily talked about by the media and public between 1994 to 1996. This relationship was said to have, quote, brought together the king of pop with the daughter of the king. Their biggest broadcast moment stems from MTV's 1994 VMAs, or Video Music Awards in full, where the late iconic couple made a joint surprise appearance on stage to open up the show. After noting that nobody thought their relationship would last, Michael and Lisa Marie shared an exciting looking smooch in front of the audience who went absolutely wild. Another marriage of Lisa Marie's that attracted media buzz was her time with Nicholas, who is a member of the Coppola family and a direct relative of Godfather and Apocalypse Now director Francis Ford Coppola. Their spousal relationship lasted a little under 4 months, but the divorce wasn't finalized until 2 years after in 2004. Despite coming from a famous lineage, racking up massive success, and being tied to some of the industry's biggest names in her lifetime, Lisa Marie's biggest achievements was always being a mother to her 4 children, something she never shied away from sharing with the world. In 2014, she gushed to Healthy Living about this, saying, "I just smothered them in love." If you're still watching today's video, smash that like button so we know who's supporting our channel all the way through. Now, we'll discuss how Lisa Marie fell from the height of her career. Despite the positives, Lisa Marie did face a sequence of downfalls in her career, and the first was before she even made an official name for herself separate from her father. This was when little Lisa Marie was 9 years old, and her first tragedy was detailed to be the time she discovered her father's lifeless body in the Graceland Estate bathroom. According to sources and reports from then, Lisa Marie had skipped over her dad's then partner to call his ex to rescue him. This occurred in 1977 when Elvis was only 42. If we fast forward a bit, we see the time of her father's death anniversary, where following this, Lisa Marie discussed the process of her vocals being layered onto her father's. On the subject, Lisa Marie recalled losing it after she heard their voices together. And much like her and Elvis's shared love for music, Lisa Marie also struggled with addiction similar to her father's. In 2016, Lisa Marie was admitted into rehab for painkillers and other pill use, which started after she gave birth to her twins with her fourth husband. One of the biggest tragedies notable in Lisa Marie's former life was the death of her eldest son, Benjamin Keogh, who took his own life back in 2020, which resulted in the mother's frequent absence from her social platforms. Through her 4 marriages and divorces, it may not be surprising to know that Lisa Marie actually went back to her first husband and father of her 2 kids, Danny, for support. Together they grieved the loss of their first son while remaining in the living quarters of their Calabasas home. Last year, Lisa Marie penned an essay for People's U.S. publication for National Grief Awareness Day. In it, she explained, "I've dealt with death, grief, and loss since the age of 9 years old. I've had more than anyone's fair share of it in my life, and somehow I've made it this far." Towards her final years of life, the former star was detailed to always be home, assumed to be caused by all the grief and heartache she faced, and how she only ever resurfaced to the public for appearances that tied to her father and his legacy. For her funeral service, Lisa Marie was remembered on a chilly gray Sunday as a loving mother and old soul who faced more tragedy than one can count on their hands, but remained a dedicated and hardcore lover and protector of her father's legacy and icon status. There were over 1,000 people gathered on the Graceland front yard for the service, mourning the loss and remembering the grand life of Lisa Marie. The star's passing occurred on January 12th after she was rushed to a California hospital. The South Memphis property held dark emotions and memories of sadness during the tragic occasion, which began with the Tennessee Mass Choir and Jason Clark's Amazing Grace. Following the events of the service, those in attendance took a walk through Graceland's Meditation Garden, where Lisa Marie was put to rest in a above-ground grave alongside Benjamin, her grandparents, and her great-grandmother. The next step, actress Jordan Clark traveled from Alabama to be at the service for Lisa Marie, referencing the ceremony as heartwarming and special. Jordan also mentioned how much Lisa Marie had gone through during her time on Earth and associated the event with the time her father passed, which people from all over the world attended. Quote, "She was born into the public, born into fame. That's hard for some people. She handled it like a champ, I think." On the mark of Lisa Marie Presley's 55th birthday, her mother Priscilla has detailed her attempts of trying to keep the remaining family together. On the subject of her late daughter, the former wife of Elvis provided a statement to the Times, saying, "Today would have been Lisa's 55th birthday. My wish is to protect my 3 grandchildren and keep our family together." Priscilla's remarks were published mere days following her filed position to contest the will left by Lisa Marie. This will detailed how Lisa Marie's trust, including her late father's Graceland property and 15% ownership of his estate, would now be left to the former mom's children. Last Thursday, Priscilla filed the petition in the Los Angeles Superior Court while questioning the authenticity and validity of Lisa Marie's wishes, which allegedly asked Priscilla and her previous business manager, Barry Siegel, as trustees. Lisa Marie ended up replacing them with her eldest children, actress Riley and the now deceased Benjamin, in a 2016 amendment which reportedly named them sole trustees upon their mother's passing. However, despite this, Priscilla and Barry are attempting to maintain their co-trustee positions in Lisa Marie's estate and have sought several ways to keep it as so. And in light of Priscilla's filing, none of Lisa Marie's surviving children have publicly spoken on her filing at the time. Still, the document was filed less than a week following Lisa Marie's public memorial service. The ceremony held a bunch of big names, including musicians Axl Rose and Billy Corgan, as well as Priscilla, of course, who read a poem penned by one of her granddaughters. The service was live streamed on Vimeo and can still be watched on the platform for those who may have missed it in real time. Joe Weinshanker, who is the managing partner of Elvis Presley Enterprises, also attended the funeral. He made a Sirius XM appearance on Elvis Radio to mark Lisa Marie's 55th birthday as well. He informed listeners of Lisa Marie's stance on leaving the estate to her kids in her best efforts to protect her father's legacy. Quote, "Everyone knew that when Elvis passed away, he left everything to his little girl, and he did so knowing that she would be the one to keep his legacy going. And I can tell you, she has, without falter, no matter what else was happening in her life, in her career, always been the one to look out for what was best for Elvis." Joel continued by explaining, "Lisa couldn't be bought. She couldn't be pushed. If she felt something wasn't in Elvis's best interest, it was never about money. And she really is the only Presley you can ever say that about. She was quite certain and very direct about who she wanted to have the legacy left to, and that was always Riley and Ben. There was never a question in her mind that they would be the stewards, that they would look at it exactly the same way she did." And that is all for our Rise and Fall rundown. Thanks for tuning in, friends!